Hey everybody, welcome to the Blacklist. Today we have Paul Alex in the house. Paul Alex is the CEO and founder of ATM Together, one of the largest online automation companies, to date. $9 million since 2021, and right now they're looking to expand in 2023. So, dude, I appreciate you being on the show. This is your second time on the show, right?
Absolutely, man. I'm glad to be back.
Cool. So, bring us back to pre-ATMs when you were in the law enforcement, because I know that's what you were doing at first, right?
No, absolutely, man. Yeah, I was over there for like about 7 years. Just to get into it, guys, short summary, 7 years of law enforcement and then 5 years as a detective, and the rest is history. Serial entrepreneur towards my last 2 years in law enforcement. It was a great time.
Yeah. What ended up getting you into ATMs? Because now, dude, you guys are big. You guys are huge. 1,600 customers. What got you, kind of into that business at first?
Yeah, absolutely. I was just looking for another stream of income. At the end of the day, man, like I tried everything for the past decade, and I'm about to be like 35 next month.
Yeah.
And I still remember when I was 18 and I started throwing nightclub events. And ultimately, I just got used to the entrepreneurship, like the unknown. And I was super excited to do it. I was just like, dude, I worked 60 to 100-hour work weeks as a detective during that time. And ATMs was just the right fit. It was black and white. It was an old school system, a boring business. That's what we were talking before. And ultimately, not a lot of people were executing it about 5 to 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Now with the digital space, man, we were able to basically be the first automation company to actually put the blueprint online and actually expose the ATM industry and show people that a boring business can actually generate you passive income.
Yeah. No, 100%. And now, you guys, like I mentioned, you guys are pretty big now, bro. Like in the last 2 years, you created a $9 million company, right? Take us through that. How did you end up doing that?
Dude, it was an insane ride. And it's so funny because I come from humble beginnings, man. And I didn't have a mentor growing up. I didn't have a rich mom and dad to say, son, this is how you build a multi-million-dollar business. No, my parents both are immigrants. My mom's Peruvian. For everybody that's watching right now, if you guys don't know where Peru's at, it's in South America. So she's from Lima, Peru. And then my dad is Mexican.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, all they knew was to work hard and then raise me and my two sisters. And ultimately, I had to learn everything on my own. Same thing with law enforcement. I got into law enforcement, and usually in law enforcement, usually it's your dad or a mentor that's yeah, you'll be good for law enforcement. No, I just wanted to transition, got into law enforcement. And the same thing happened with entrepreneurship. I read a book, sounds cliche, Digital Millionaire by Dan Henry. Phenomenal book, changed my life, really did. I was even able to tell Dan that during ClickFunnels this past year in Orlando. It was awesome. And yeah, it broke my limiting beliefs. The guy made $46,000 within a 30-minute live webinar.
Damn.
And I was just like, damn, how does he do it? It's like magic, right? Because you got to really think about it. $46,000, that's sometimes some people's annual salary, man.
Yeah.
And ultimately, you have this guy right here trying to explain to you, you can sell information online and it literally makes millions of dollars. And I just took that book and ran with it, dude. Yeah. I invested into a 10K program, which a lot of my coworkers at the time, they were like, dude, you're an idiot. Why would you invest 10K into a program of a guy just selling you a course? And I'm like, nah, dude. I see the vision of where this is going. I had decent success with ATMs at the time. I had about 30 locations myself that I physically went out there and worked hundreds of hours on my days off to actually establish. And even though I wasn't making as much money as I am now, at the end of the day, that was money where it allowed me to buy options. Yeah. It allowed me to buy my first dream car, which at that time, it was a Porsche Panamera, white in color with like everything you could think of. And I was super proud when I bought that car. That car actually pushed me even farther to become a serial entrepreneur and to really buckle down and learn this. And that's what happens sometimes. You need to gift yourself that one special dream that you always wanted, right? And from there, man, I built out the program the first 3 months. I made a couple $1,000s off of it. And I was just like, what are these guys doing? And the other consulting agencies or websites or whatnot that have been in the game for the past 5-10 years, and they're making millions. There's even guys making millions of dollars a month. And I was just like, dude, what's the secret? And ultimately, it's just refining your offer.
Yeah.
You know, you have an offer, you're an expert. And ultimately, I was able to refine it. I found the fact that people were having difficulty finding locations within the ATM industry.
Yeah.
And I come from a sales background as well. I worked in corporate America for the past 6 years before I was in law enforcement. I'm pretty decent, you could say, in communication. So I was used to doing the presentation and refining the offer and finding like the pain points behind what a business owner actually needs in order to use ATMs, right?
Yeah.
So then I created ATM Together. And as you guys can see, I wear it proud.
Yeah.
So with that, ATM Together was born in January of 2021. I was a one-man team at that time. I was still working, dude, as a detective in law enforcement during that time. It was crazy. It was craziness. I was getting like 3 hours of sleep a day. It was insane. But it's because I have so much passion with building ATM Together that I didn't care. I didn't need sleep. Like I went to work, would come home, take a nap, and then straight up do marketing, prospecting online. I would go and like work on my program. I would go and set the appointments by myself. I would go on Zoom calls with like 18 people a day, dude.
Yeah.
And on my days off, I would try to push it to the limit and like talk to 30 people. And we're talking about people in the East Coast, Midwest, everywhere, not just California from where I'm from, but everywhere. And I remember business, like where the breaking point was at was I had a close friend, and he's actually going to be talking in the next interview.
Yeah.
But I had a close friend, and he said, "Hey man, how's your business going?" He was one of the good friends that, you know, you have that good circle of friends, but that's that one friend that's like, dude, like forget everything else. Just focus on that.
Yeah.
Right. And it was that one friend. I remember that one day I was working on the program. He saw it and he's just like, "Hey dude, how much money did you make on your third month?" I was like, "Dude, I actually made $130,000. And he looked at me like, "Are you stupid? Like, seriously, dude, like leave.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing here? You're wasting your time working here.
Yep.
Like, go and push it to the limit, you know?" And then I'm like, "You know what? You're right." So I'm going all in, dude. Like, I literally put up my house for sale. Dude, at that time, everybody thought I was crazy. My mom was just like, "Why are you even selling your house? Like, what's the point of that?" I was just like, I just need to be in a different environment.
Right.
You know, I was born and raised in the Bay Area, and I was there my entire life. And ultimately, I was just like, you know what? I really like San Diego, dude. So why not? I like the vibe of San Diego, the entrepreneurship of San Diego. A lot of go-getters out there. I moved out there, dude. Like a year and a half later, $9 million business with an ATM Together. Went from a one-man entrepreneur company to 21 employees. Have a COO who, weird enough, it was that one friend that was just like, "Dude, get out of here." So ultimately, I was just like, you know what? He gave me the best advice back when I was a cop. So I'm gonna tell him to come with me and see if he'll take the offer, right?
Right.
So yeah, dude, it's like a movie, to be honest with you. Everything that's happened in the past few years, but it all comes down to self-belief.
Yeah.
And the reason why we were able to scale to 9 million is because we actually care about our clients, man. I mean, we were talking about this over lunch, earlier, and it's like majority of the market, you see a lot of different programs out there, but are they bringing actual results?
Right.
And we're results different, man. Like testimonials, social proof is everything, but not only mine. When you guys check out atmtogether.com, you guys actually see the people. You see their smiling faces. You see the results. You see them actually generating cash flow. And they're like, "Dude, this changed my life."
Yeah.
So it's a phenomenal feeling to actually give back to the people.
One of the reasons why we're having you on again is because kind of like I mentioned during lunch is like, bro, I see constant testimonials from people that are always winning, right? There's like an email, I'd say like every other day of some new person that just, ended up quitting their 9 to 5 or they ended up, getting an ATM and now they're generating passive income. It's like you have the fulfillment down to the point where it's like transformational, not just transactional, Like you are actually changing a lot of lives and you're making it in a way where they don't necessarily have to do a lot of the work because you guys are helping them out with that, right? Like finding the locations and all that type of stuff. So how do you build something so good? Like you said, you were refining your offer like crazy.
Yeah.
How do you build something so good that almost everybody that joins, like I said, they're always constantly getting, more and more and more, and which is benefiting you guys too, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So the offer that I wanted to create with ATM Together I wanted to keep it very black and white. When I came into the ATM industry, I was just like, wow, this has to be a scam. This is too good to be true.
Yeah.
How can you make your money work for you? Especially when you're not there. Usually, the difference between active income and passive income is that active income, you have to be at the office. You have to be working at a 9 to 5. You have to go to a stationary building with other employees. And unless you're there, guess what? You have no cash flow.
Right.
And like I tell everybody, if you only have one source of income, then you're only one step away from poverty. That's reality.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's happened to a lot of my friends, a lot of my family members, unfortunately. And it's sad, man. So what I wanted to create was such an offer that when someone hears it, they're like, dude, this is a no-brainer. Why wouldn't I have the money that I have saved in my bank account and use it to fill up my own employee, my little ATM, and then it's generating me cash flow while I'm actually either working at my 9 to 5, working on my other business, or doing what I want to do. Ultimately, my why I started entrepreneurship, why I keep going hard every single day, because at the back of my mind is with generating wealth, it's not about the money, okay? Because once you get the money, you're going to realize, and this goes for everybody that's watching right now, but you're going to realize that money is not everything. But the only people that are able to say that is people that actually are able to generate the wealth.
Yeah.
Okay. But you're going to see that you need to have a why. And the why is what's going to keep you going day in, day out, through the bad days, through the good days, through the days that you don't want to actually do anything but go relax and watch some Netflix, right? Because we're all human. We're all human. And I understand that. So we created an offer so compelling, so good that we'll do the work for you, because we understand the majority of Americans, they have to go to work. They have to work a 9 to 5. They have to generate cash flow to live.
Yeah.
Right? Everybody got bills, dude. So we set up our employees to find the location for you. We set up our employees to actually work with you one-on-one to actually show you how to program, how to troubleshoot these machines. And we actually ship you the actual machine.
Yeah.
You don't see that in digital consulting. You don't see that online anymore. That it's almost like a hybrid, dude. When you really think about it, it's a mixture of a tangible brick and mortar business, right?
Yep.
And you still get the digital side, because even though our team might be remote, and let's say you might be in Florida, New York, Miami, Texas, Arkansas. I mean, we have thousands of clients everywhere throughout the United States. They feel that connection.
Yeah.
Because we're talking to them on Zoom. We're checking up on them. We're actually building these relationships. And I think that's what's missing in business nowadays.
Yeah.
I mean, with social media, it's just people have gotten detached from the actual person-to-person customer service aspect of it. And that's where we actually come in strong, man.
I agree.
Because I always tell every single client, like, hey, unless you are winning, guess what? We're not going to win. We only win with you.
Yeah.
Ultimately, because I want to be able to interview my client, and I want my client to be my spokesperson. I'm not going to speak for anyone else. I want them to speak about their own results.
Yep.
And that's why we have thousands of testimonials on our website, social media platforms. Referrals are crazy. I mean, it's been amazing.
Yeah. And is that offer the ATM Elite Automation?
Yes.
Okay.
That is correct. So with the ATM Elite Automation, okay, it is the original offer from atmtogether.com.
Yeah.
And what that is primarily 4 pillars. First pillar is going to be your ATM. We provide you with a brand new ATM, Hyusen Halo 2, which is the industry standard. It also has capabilities where you can actually buy Bitcoin if you would like. Okay, so it's all, again, a hybrid. And ultimately, we do this. We offer that type of machine because we want people to build as many sources of income from a single offer.
Yeah.
Okay, we're not greedy. We're not trying to make money off of anyone. We're not taking a percentage from you, which I'll get into in a sec.
Right.
But we also offer you a free internet modem. The only recurring charge that a business owner looking to start an ATM business is looking at is $5.99 for the internet, Verizon or AT&T, depending on where they're at in the United States. And then we offer processing. And for everybody that's watching right now that doesn't know what processing is basically the network that you use in order to facilitate the bank transaction. So it is the network that connects the actual ATM with the bank account and the banking network. This is how you're getting paid on a daily basis from your actual surcharge profits.
Yeah.
And the company that we use, they're called Switch Commerce. It's one of the best. It's very user friendly, and they even give you this really cool application that you're able to use on your phone. And then the fourth pillar. The fourth pillar is where we come in very strong because we're one of the only companies out there that actually do this for our clients when you buy an ATM from us. And we actually land you a location. Not only do we land you a location, but people are like, you land me a location? I'm like, yes, we land you a location. Not only do we do that, but we also have a quadruple guarantee that comes with that, which I'll talk about that later on.
Yeah.
But yes, it's a phenomenal offer.
That is a good offer because you're taking away a lot of the legwork that normally somebody would do, to do it by themselves. Finding a location, I think, is hard enough. Making sure that after you find the location, you can convince them to actually put an ATM is also another thing, right? Figuring out where to buy it, how to, maneuver, like you said, troubleshoot, because I'm pretty sure you have to troubleshoot with ATM sometimes, right? Yes. So it's like you guys are providing all of that support to the point where, and you guys are not even taking any recurring charges. It's it's like, it really is their passive income source, right? Absolutely. Because you're not taking any cut of the percentage of profits of anything that they take from.
We're not.
So that's why I think it's such a killer offer, because you can tell like you really care about the transformation of that client, because you're not trying to just, nickel and dime them, like maybe other companies will, right?
Absolutely. It's almost unheard of, guys. It's almost unheard of that a company that provides actual ATMs and provides the actual network doesn't take a cut of the surcharge.
Yeah, that is very uncommon, very rare. With a lot of companies, I'd say when they do that, when they build something for you that's passive, they also take a percentage of that profit usually, yes. Right? That's what I'm saying. That's pretty standard in the industry.
I mean, you see it with like Amazon Automation, for example. They take depending on what tier you get into, because usually it's like a 3 offer tier if you guys ever look into Amazon Automation. And I'm pretty sure for whoever's watching this, you've probably considered Amazon Automation. Trust me, hey, I'm guilty of that, right? So I've purchased an Amazon Automation store before, not to bash or anything. I'm sure it works for thousands of people out there, but unfortunately it didn't work out for me. But with Amazon Automation, for example, okay, they will offer you 3 different packages. Depending on how much you pay up front, that's basically going to determine how much you give them on residuals on a monthly basis off of the net profit. Now, with our offer, the reason why it's so special is because you're keeping 100% of the surcharge. So you're trying to figure out, and you're probably scratching your head, like many people have in the past that became clients, guys, is, Paul, how do you make your money? Well, total transparency, we actually charge a premium price for this premium package. But at the end of the day, this is what I'm going to tell you guys. For the same amount that you probably will invest in real estate, invest in any other type of semi-passive to actually active income stream, you are getting about 3 to 6 times the return on ATMs that you would with any other type of investment in the market right now. And it's proven because we have the social proof.
Yeah. So tell me more about that in terms of like if somebody had, money, 10, 20,000, and they wanted to either put it into a property or they wanted to put it into a couple of ATMs. And I know you've done this before because I've seen the math on your stories, because you do this a lot, and it looks, it sounds phenomenal. So break it down for people that are probably watching this for the first time.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's quite amazing when the numbers are actually broken down, guys, because I'm a numbers guy. So at the end of the day, it has to make sense, right?
Yeah.
And I'll give you guys a great example. I just invested into a quadplex. Actually, one in Arizona and then one in California, okay? So let's take the one for Arizona, for example. They wanted around 600K. And typically, I mean, you got to ask, within my circle, I was like, hey, how many of you guys actually have around 600K in cash to put down and actually buy the property?
Yeah.
It's going to be a very small percentage of people, right? So what most people are going to do is they're actually just going to put the 20% down or a very small deposit. Now, you have to take out a loan. That loan is not going to come out for free. I wish it did, but it's not. So they're going to charge you interest on that loan, right? So ultimately, it's going to cut into your total profit that you're going to get from the tenants. Not only that, but you also have people that you have to deal with. So you have to manage people basically, right? So if you're out of state, you're going to have to hire a management company, and they're going to want a cut of the pie. They're going to want 10%.
Yeah.
And then maintenance. And then you have to keep funds in reserve. And then what if you don't know how to do any type of contract work? So now you have all of these liabilities. What I told people and what I've learned in entrepreneurship is that if you have to pick either ATMs or real estate, the way you always want to go is ATMs versus real estate is ATMs. And the reason why, okay, is because with one ATM, for example, they go for around $2,200. If you find your own location, great. You could go ahead and do that, right? Internet costs, recurring charges about $6, and then the money inside. You can start with $2,000 to $3,000. So all in, you're probably spending around $6,000.
Yeah.
$6,000. And the average our clients make is around $200 to $1,000 per ATM. So once you go ahead and you actually get that experience, guess what? You're going to get better in closing. You're going to get better in prospecting. You're going to get better in marketing. And then you're going to go ahead and scale. So just imagine if you have 6, possibly 10 ATMs within your first year, you spend a little bit over $20,000, okay, on those 6 to 10 ATMs.
Yeah.
And you're cash flowing over $5,000, $6,000. We have some locations, some clients that are cash flowing $2,000. We have some locations at worst, $200 minimum. $600,000 on a real estate property, a quadplex, okay? Right now, that's going to cash flow me $5,000. But how was I able to have $600,000 in cash flow in order to buy that property?
Right, right.
I built a business. You have to build a business in order to cash flow to make enough money to go ahead and invest into real estate, guys. Real estate is only for people that have money and they actually want to make money work for them. And it's also a tax write-off as well. Yeah. You're able to save your money on taxes. You're not getting hit by the IRS. And at the end of the day, everybody knows you have to generate your wealth through a business. So ATMs, when you look at it, oh, dude, they're winning all day, especially when you're looking at the return on investment. Yeah. That's why about half of our clients, half of the 1,600 clients are real estate investors or real estate agents. It's actually pretty funny because every time that they come onto a call with us, they're like, so what do you do for a living? They're like, I'm in real estate. Oh, so you must have seen the ATMs versus real estate post, huh? And they're like, yeah, we saw it. Our friend sent it to us. Yeah. That's usually how the conversation starts. But what you don't know is what you don't know, right?
And the crazy thing, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it's a lower barrier to entry with the ATMs. You don't necessarily need to check your credit score, right? For like the loan, you don't need to have $20,000 plus closing costs or whatever it is for however much it's going to cost to buy a property. Like it's just $6,000, right? And it's $6,000 for the ATM that you're going to make your money back, and then you can continue on with more and more and more, and then you're starting up your business that's essentially pretty passive. The only thing you got to do is change out the money.
Yeah,
is that right?
That's it. It's as passive as possible, and to many people, okay, people might have different views on what passive is, but take it from me. I worked in law enforcement, 60 to 100-hour work weeks, guys. Blood money for my money, okay? When it takes me 5 minutes to change out an ATM and I made $1,500 in 1 month and I didn't have to do anything, that's as passive as it's going to get.
Yeah.
Like, seriously. If you're complaining about that, then you don't need to be in business. Let's keep it real.
Yeah. No, dude, 100%. I like that. So with the offer that you do have, I know you mentioned that you have a guarantee in place. Yes. I'm pretty sure that's why one of your offers is very successful as well. What is the guarantee that you guys have in place?
Great question, brother. So our guarantee, we actually have a quadruple guarantee. Number one, with the ATM business, you need to be approved for a bank account, no matter what state you're at. And the reason why is because the bank account needs to be actually linked to your ATM in order for the funds to return back to your bank account. And then you can actually reuse the physical cash you can withdraw from the bank and then refill your ATM again. When you think about this, how do banks make money, guys? Well, they actually hold on to your money and they let other people borrow money and then they make the money off the interest, right? They give out loans. That's why whenever, or if you guys could try it right now, you guys want to put out $100,000 from your checking account, the bank's gonna be like, give us a couple days because they have to go and actually, recoup the money and then prepare it for you. They have to get it dropped off. So with ATM deployers, especially now in 2022 and 2023, going to 2023, it is a big concern. The reason why is because if you're not educated on what to properly say, and also the paperwork that you need in order to facilitate the actual business, they're going to deny you flat out. So our first guarantee is we actually guarantee that we'll get you approved for a bank account.
Yeah.
So we actually go out there, we have our experts call the banks and see who actually work with new ATM deployers. So you don't got to worry about that. That is part of a bonus from the package. The second thing is, as soon as you land that bank account approval, we have 30 days to actually find your location. And the reason why I want to build urgency, because success loves speed, man. As you know, dude, like we've known each other for about a year now, and hey, we're just always on the go. And that's how every entrepreneur should actually treat their business, with urgency, okay? So we will have you up and running within 4 to 6 weeks. The third guarantee, guys, is the actual performance based on the location. And I think this is the most important guarantee out of the 4 guarantees that I'm going to talk about on this one. But that guarantee is, at minimum, you're going to be making 200 cash flow a month, guys. No one else is offering that. If you go to your any ATM processing company right now, any ATM company that actually can sell you an ATM, and you ask like, hey, can you guys lend me a location? Guarantee you they're going to say no. Hey, so ATM Together is going to offer me a 200 a month cash flow. Can you guys offer the same thing? Can you match them? They're going to say no.
Yeah.
And it's just because of the infrastructure and the logistics that we have going on within our company. Right. And then the last and final guarantee, guys, accountability. Accountability is everything, because as you know, we're humans and sometimes we slip up, dude. There's been days where I just wanted to relax, especially nowadays. We're getting close to Christmas, guys. It's raining. We were just talking about the weather.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm from San Francisco. I love the rain. Dude, I love to turn on the heater and just relax, watch some Netflix, probably like, watch a couple of my favorite shows. But we know in entrepreneurship, even those days where you're not motivated and you don't want to do no work, dude, you still got to get your ass up and fucking work. That's just the way it goes. So with that being said, we actually have 3 client success managers that will actually keep in tabs with you on a daily basis. So you stay on track. So we hit that goal of the 4 to 6 week startup, guys.
Yeah. And I think that's one of the reasons why like the clients just see success, because dude, I'm being completely honest here. Like when I see emails all the time of like this new mother of 3, mother of 4, like ended up getting an ATM location. And I think a lot of it has to do with the accountability too. Because most people, we were talking about it during lunch, most people buy courses or programs, they never go through it. You were saying something like 70% of people just don't even like log in.
Yeah.
Right?
It's insane when I heard that, and I actually had to educate my consultants, my team members on that. Any course out there, about 70%, no matter what the ticket price is, guys, because there's even lazy people at high level.
That's true.
It's true, guys. It's just the way it is. We're human. Yeah. And sometimes we slip up. But 70% of the courses that are bought right now in the digital marketing world are untouched. And people pay thousands upon tens of thousands of dollars for these courses. And it's insane. So you need that accountability. Someone on your team. You need a team. That's what we are. That's what we call it, ATM Together, because we're doing it together.
Yeah.
It's a done for you, but it's also a done with you, because we want to educate you. We don't want to just set up your first location and then you don't know what you're doing. No, we actually want to help you set up your location, educate you on absolutely everything. And then from there, guess what? You're a rock star. You're going to smash it. And then a year from now, you're going to be like, hey, Paul, dude, can you go ahead and actually mentor me for digital marketing? That's exactly what happened to dozens of my clients, guys. Dozens of my clients became superstars within the ATM industry. And then they were like, I actually want to promote my own ATM program. Yeah. And I'm okay with that. I'm not greedy. There are hundreds of millions of people out there, enough money for everybody to make. I've helped dozens of my clients build out programs. But that's another story. That's another website, guys. So stick to ATMs. But with that being said, it's just to share you my vision, guys, that you guys can do it too.
Yeah. And, for people that might be thinking, because I'm definitely thinking like right now, do you believe that we're going to go into a cashless society? Mm-hmm. Because you know how many people say cash is king, right? So like, what do you believe?
Oh, dude, I get that all the time. That's like the number one roadblock that stops people from actually investing in themselves is that like, Paul, crypto, I think we're going to go into cashless society. There's going to be robots. The Terminator's going to be here in the next 5 years. I'm like, no. So here's the thing, guys. A little fun fact that you guys may not know. Actually, I found this very interesting. About 25% of the United States actually relies on actual ATMs. And it's a remarkable thing. The reason why is because they don't qualify for bank accounts. They don't qualify to even get a credit card or a debit card, guys. So they have to rely on other ways, like charge cards, okay? Charge cards that actually you have to pay a monthly fee, okay? And some people are like, no way. Yes, we see it every single month. They use the ATMs in the corner liquor store because they can't go down to the bank and actually open a bank account just because they don't qualify. Remember, they have to check your background. They're not going to let somebody that has committed a felony or that has gone ahead and done, you can say fraudulent activity, open a bank account. So it counts for 25% of the United States, guys. That's millions upon millions of people in the United States. That is your avatar. That is your clientele. So for everybody that's watching right now, they're like, I don't use an ATM. Guess what? You're not our avatar. We have our avatar. And trust me, there is a lot of money to be made. So if you don't like to make money, this is not for you.
Yeah. And one thing that I want to cover with that is like, you're right. Like I've interviewed a lot of people and they're mainly selling like B2B, right?
Yeah.
Like they're selling to other business owners or things like that. One of the reasons why I really like having you on is because it gives a new perspective. Like I don't really know too many people that are actually helping out the 9-to-5ers, like, people that just have it a little bit rougher than, somebody like me or somebody else that is in the business world where we can afford stuff like that. Right.
Absolutely.
You're helping out, a lot of the people that need help that couldn't think it was possible. And I remember, back when I was like younger, I remember that was me at one point, where I didn't think it was possible and stuff like that. So I really like that about you. You're very humble, very down to earth guy. And because I think you were in law enforcement, like you're very much sticking to like just helping people out in general. Yeah. Right. For those people though, like you said, that might be difficult for them to get a bank account or something like that. Is there like funding options that because they work 9 to 5, like yours is high ticket. How does that work?
No, absolutely. And in life, it's all about options, man. And that's what we try to do. We even try to do that with our program. So what we did is we actually teamed up with 2 affiliate companies that actually help people with funding. Minimum qualifications is around a 620 credit score. You need to make a minimum of $30,000 a year. And you need to be at your 9 to 5 for a minimum of 3 months. Yeah. If you do work for yourself, you need to have tax returns for the past 2 years. Now, we'll be able to qualify you. We'll actually pay for the entire business for you to get you up and running, and you don't have to pay for the first month. After that, your payments are anywhere between $250 up to $380, depending on the interest, but that's ultimately per client. Okay, yeah. So that's based on your background, based on your credit score, all that jazz. Now, for the people that are watching right now and you have, let's say, a 700 credit score, okay, you could do something sort of like what I did. I wasn't educated on credit, man. I'm gonna keep it real on this one. I wasn't educated on credit. I used to, buy like, the designer shoes and all that in my young 20s. And I made a lot of mistakes with purchasing that stuff. And trust me, I built up some debt, guys. I had to work a lot of overtime to get out of that debt. I'm just saying. But with that being said, I educated myself in actually using credit. I educated myself on building credit. And then ultimately what I did to start this business, okay? I had about 10, 12K in my savings account during that time. And I was just like, dude, I'm not going to have enough money to fill these ATMs.
Yeah.
So what do I do? And I had to figure it out because I didn't have a mentor. I didn't have an ATM together to go to where people they're going to help you out. No, I wish there was an ATM together that a team will actually be able to educate you, or like one of our consultants that are great, help thousands of people, and they'll actually tell you your options. No, I had to figure it out. So what I did is I actually went to American Express, took out a Blue Cash credit card, okay? And then they give you 0 interest for the first 12 months. They give you around $350 cash back when you spend over $3,000. You're going to spend over $3,000 anyways.
Yeah.
And once you go ahead and do that, you have 12 months. You're going to go ahead and use that 12 month of 0 interest. Start your business, start cash flowing, and then from there, just pay off the credit card.
Yeah.
Now, all that liquid cash that you have in your savings account, you can use that money to actually put inside your ATM. Have it work for you guys. How many of you guys right now have $5,000 to $10,000 to even $20,000 in your savings account? How much money is it doing for you on a yearly basis? I remember when I had about 20, 30 in my mid 20s, and it literally made me pennies. Made me pennies, dude. I was just like, I guess this is what it's all about, because my parents were like, you got to save.
Yeah.
You got to save every penny. And I'm like, I'm really saving every penny because I only made 2 pennies off of this 20,000 in my savings account.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, guys, I'm telling you right now, that money in your bank account is not doing nothing for you. You got to have it work for you.
Well, yeah, dude, what really stood out to me is like, you know, if somebody does a funding option, it's almost, that's like a no-brainer,
Yeah.
right? They're paying $200 to $300 maybe, right?
Yeah.
The crazy thing is the ATMs themselves make at a minimum $200 to $1,000. So literally you could take out, you know, get a funding option or whatever, and then be positive, be positive on that. And hardly any money is coming out other than like maybe your savings to fill in the ATM.
Exactly.
Which is, it's not, I think people might get the misconception, like if you take out the money from your bank account and you put it to the ATM, it's still in your savings.
Yeah.
It's just now in the ATM.
Exactly.
So it's like you never even used it, you know?
Exactly.
So that's just like that. Yeah. See, now I'm realizing like, damn, this is no wonder it's a fucking no brainer, right?
Yeah.
It's like, it just makes sense logically, numbers wise, you know, like you said, 25% of businesses, or 25% of people like, you know, use ATMs. I wouldn't have thought of that.
Yeah.
To me in my head, I'm like, I mean, actually I do use ATMs, but like,
Dude, I used it 4 times. You know where?
here,
Taco shops,
yep,
valet.
barbershops.
How many times, if right now, whoever's watching this and you're balling out of control, right? And you only do valet, you take your lady or your wife to nice restaurants and you're not tipping your valet guy, you're shady. But for all the good people out there, right, that tip their valets, give them cash. Give them cash, guys. I valet all my people, all right? So, yeah, there's a lot of businesses that actually depend on cash.
Yeah.
So either way it goes, we'll get a lot of naysayers that are like, dude, cashless society, it's going to happen, bro. Dude, I'm telling you right now, you're not the avatar.
Right.
There's an avatar for every business.
Yep.
And only true entrepreneurs know that.
Yep. And you know yours really well because during lunch, I was telling you, like, one of the best things that you've done is create a community. Like, I don't know too many other, like, I mean, there's a lot of companies, right? But I mean,
Absolutely.
like, in general, your community is all about kind of like uplifting each other, the emails that we get, people constantly winning. And you and Get 'em are also in like Facebook Lives, you know, constantly in your Facebook group and stuff like that. So you guys are very much there. It's not like you guys are like behind the scenes. You don't talk to your clients or anything like that. It's like you guys are really there for your clientele. For people that do end up joining, do they join that Facebook group too? And how does that work?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a couple ways that you guys can actually join the community. And I recommend that you guys take up this offer that I'm actually going to tell you right now. If you haven't done your due diligence on actually researching us, I have 2 different guides. We just did a brand new one for one of our new offers, but it's very similar to what I'm talking about right now. 2 different guides that you could get from us, absolutely free ebooks. And then we also have a free course. Free course is actually going to educate you on the actual structure and the foundation of the ATM business. So it's actually going to talk about setting up your LLC, setting up your business bank account, prospecting, marketing, and then the logistics that goes behind actually setting up your ATM business. And it's absolutely for free. I've never been a big believer on charging for information. I think information should be for free. It's way different from actual tangible services, which we do provide, of course, guys. That's how I make my money. But at the end of the day, I do want to educate as many people as possible. And trust me, guys, we launched this Facebook group like with 5 members a little bit over 2 years ago. Now it's over 51,000 members. It's grown like crazy. And thousands upon thousands of client success stories. So how can you find us? www.atmtogether.com, guys. Check out my Instagram, Paul Alex Espinoza. That's going to be with a Z at the end of my last name. And then you can also Google me. Hopefully I pop up. No, I'm just playing, guys. Yeah, I'll pop up. You'll see it right there. Paul Alex ATM. I pop up. And then you guys could just check the publications. I mean, we're growing as a company, and it's very humbling because we come from humble beginnings. We're just 9-to-5ers, just like everyone else. And at the end of the day, we structure it just like our old 9 to 5, you know?
Yeah.
If I was never in law enforcement, I would have never known how to build an organization. I would have never been a leader. That's what my 9 to 5 showed me. So that's why I'm about the people, I'm about communication and hearing people out. Like, I want to hear your story. I want to be able to help you and your family and your friends or whatnot. So yeah, just come join the community. We'll be waiting for you.
Dude, I like that. One question that's been lingering on my head is, what about protection for the ATMs?
Yeah.
Walk me through that, because, I mean, I highly doubt ATMs get robbed. But, you know, people are going to think about that. I thought about that. So what are your thoughts on that?
No, absolutely, man. Great question. So with ATMs, people are like, dude, what if you get robbed? It's all about pre-planning, guys. Okay, so I come from law enforcement. I've taken literally thousands upon thousands of robbery reports.
Yeah.
The single common issue here, why people get robbed, is because they're too busy on their phone. They're not aware of their surroundings. So you have to make sure you go in there with a game plan. When I was doing it, when I was loading up my own ATMs, okay, I was going early in the morning before the store even opened.
Yeah.
I was making arrangements with the employees and the business owner saying like, hey, what time are you guys going to be there tomorrow?
Yeah.
Because I gotta go handle business. They're like, okay, yeah, we're going to be here. We'll open the door for you. Cool. So I always had a game plan to go and execute, load up the machine, which takes about 2 minutes. I would say even a couple seconds, guys, to be honest. Once you start getting good at it, it's very easy to do.
Yeah.
But 2 minutes tops. You're in and you're out, and then you're on your way to generating passive income for the rest of the month.
Yeah.
It's very simple.
No, that's a great answer, bro. Okay, cool. So where can people find you specifically? I know you mentioned ATM Together, but recently you've been featured a ton, bro, in the press. I think you have tomorrow you have a TV spot. I know you're also in January, going on TV. So where can people find more of you?
Yeah, absolutely, guys. You guys can find me at Instagram. That's going to be Paul Alex Espinoza, ESPINOZA, a Z on Espinoza, guys. So Paul Alex Espinoza. It's my only Instagram, guys. There's a ton of impersonator profiles out there. Do not be fooled. I would never sell you anything on crypto. I would never sell you anything on through Messenger or WhatsApp. I don't use WhatsApp to talk to clients. So please, I only have one profile. I have to say that. Okay. So,
dude, thank you so much for being on the show.
All right. Absolutely. Thank you.